So my name is Angela Rivera, and I have utilized the services at the Center for Safety and Change my whole life. I mean, my mother walked around with black eyes, with neck braces, and for me, this was life. There was nothing out of the ordinary. I thought this happened in every household. Unfortunately, when I decided to get married, I married somebody very similar. He was very controlling, very possessive. One time he put my kids in the car and he threatened to drive them off of a cliff if I didn't come back home. I remember one time I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and my daughter was on the phone and I said, Dory, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? And she said, it's Lauren. And she handed me the phone and it was the therapist from the Center for Safety and Change who was on the phone, and she said, hi Angela, it's me. Dory had a nightmare and she called me, and this woman picked up the phone. And this is something that a paid therapist does not even do. 4 to 6 weeks into culinary school, when he saw that, I was going down into New York City by myself, and at first he started driving me to the bus. When I started to gain confidence and see this whole world in front of me, I started sticking up for myself and saying I could drive myself to the bus. So he began threatening me and cursing at me and, telling me he was going to come find me and kill me. If he's going to kill me, he's going to kill me while I'm doing what I want to do. He's not going to stop me this time.
Center for Safety and Change has been in existence for almost 4 decades. For all of the intervention services that we provide and how well we provide them, we really ultimately are all working towards trying to end and eradicate domestic violence.
You look at what's happening with the Me Too movement, the Time's Up movement. Women are speaking out in historical numbers. And there's really an opportunity for we as men to decide which side of history we're going to be on.
Growing up in the 70s, even child abuse wasn't really talked about, you know what I mean? It's like stuff, people knew it was going on, but no one really did anything about it as long as it was behind closed doors.
When I was about 5 years old, I had a man who was family French kissed me. At that time, we didn't learn about pedophilia and sexual abuse, and I didn't even know what was going on. Now that I'm older, I understand that it was a French kiss. At the time, I just felt like, why is his mouth on me? It's weird and awkward, and I hate this. But I had no idea that I could talk to my mom because I was so scared she would be angry with me.
And I remember being like 4 years old and, screaming at him, like, get off of my mom. But for me, it was normal because it happened regularly. It happened on a regular basis, and it happened with my father, it happened with my mother's second husband, it happened with my mother's third husband. And it wasn't until my mother's fourth husband came in, the man she's been married to now for, 25 or 26 years, that it stopped.
Certain behaviors were accepted.
By taking the side of the victim.
Let's just say women in this case.
In women in general, right. You appear weak.
I had a boyfriend who started to get really upset, so he shoved me. And then when I started to walk away, because in my mind I was like, oops, that's it. You just put your hands on me, we're done. And then he pulled me back to him, like, where are you going? He just kind of freaked out and just started kind of shoving me around. And this was happening at the Magic Kingdom in Disney World. So, sad. But the point is, after that happened, he said, oh, you act like I hit you. You act like I put my hands on you. I didn't do anything. So he felt like there was nothing wrong with what he did. And I ended up going back to him, surprisingly. Because at the time I was ready to go. And then after that, of course, there was the crying and the, I'm sorry, I love you so much, I'll never do it again. And it always happens again.
The first thing we taught as a boy is boys will be boys, you're going to get scars, you're going to get bumps and bruises, toughen up and keep it to yourself, really.
Because of what happened when I was younger, I felt like it couldn't do any better. And this was something that maybe I deserved. That I don't know, I can't explain it. But I couldn't get away. And I just felt like that I loved him and that everything was going to be fine.
what we're taught as men, how to define what it means to be a man, is to distance ourselves from the experience of women and girls.
There's this old-timey opinion that we are all the property of man and that men think it's okay for them to rape us and treat us however because it's in their right to do so.
It's male privilege. It's being in a place where you feel comfortable and you don't feel the need to look at other people and the struggles that they face.
This past weekend, I just put some music on that helps me release my emotions because, they're very deep in there. And that is my defense mechanism of taking my emotions, putting them in the back, and just going on, just so I don't fall apart, and just so I can continue to go on because I have 4 children and they need me.
Okay, it's my fault I antagonized him. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said this. No! And then I realized, what am I saying? I realized being with this man was a betrayal to every woman.
So start by believing and stop blaming the victim for something that's being done to them.
But the idea is we have to pull away the sides of the box that we've been living in before we can even really change our behaviors.
Our boys are not going to respect women unless we believe it, and we raise them that way.
We need to do a better job raising boys into a newer definition of what a man should be. Now I'm hearing from you, and this idea of being intentional just blew my mind away. It's something which I'm going to put into practice. I am in front of people all the time, in various networks, and it's just something I'm going to make part of my daily process.
If we all recognize, everyone in this room, everyone who's watching this, everyone just realizes that together we have to all say time's up.